Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 2 of the Mashing Joys movie review. MJMR, you know how we do it around here. Jason and Cody back here talking to you today about Those Who Wish Me Dead. Sorry, Angelina Jolie, came out 2021, right? Big publicity this movie got. Right? I remember that was what made me want to watch this movie. This was a suggestion of mine, and I will live with that for the rest of my life.
We'll make sure of it.
Yeah. So let's just get into it because I know kind of how we both stand on this movie, so we can make this one fairly quick. Jason, start us off. How do you feel?
Okay, so there's a lot of things I don't like about this movie. There's some things that I liked about this movie. Here's the thing. I'm sick and tired of running into these movies that have like good characters, but and a good cast for those characters. Like this one's got Littlefinger and Beast from X-Men and Lara Croft, obviously. And then obviously you have Punisher and just good group of casting. Like it really is. I just felt like it was rushed. There was so much about the movie that was just like they did a good job painting some pictures, but it was like, did that picture need to be painted? And then they leave so much stuff unanswered. And this is not a movie that needs a sequel. So to leave it unanswered was 100% pointless. And if I see fucking Medea in one more fucking movie where Medea doesn't need to be in it, I'm like, you might as well just call this Tyler Perry's Medea for Those Who Wish Me Dead. He didn't need to be in this movie, first of all. Too many things were rushed. Now, the things that I did like was I really like when they don't they don't draw out a point that they're trying to make. For instance, when you're watching a movie and it's the kid, if it's a sport movie and the kid's constantly grabbing his wrist. For instance, Banks in Mighty Ducks, when he's constantly grabbing his wrist, it's okay, he clearly can't play. He's not going to play, but he keeps it hurts. And then the last game, he's look, coach, I woke up and no pain. It's yeah, we knew you were going to come back, you moron. Stop. What, you didn't need to draw that out as far as you did. But the whole, there were certain things in the movie that they were just really quick to the point, which was cool. But then it was then you don't explain the whole reason why the dad's being hunted. You have an idea, but you don't know what it is. And they're going to extremes to get this X-nade, and you have no idea what it is. Ever. You never find it out. It's all up to speculation. There's not hints in the movie. There's nothing. You can get glimpses of, okay, it was probably this. He probably knew something that he wasn't supposed to know or whatever, but you have no idea what it is. These dudes are going into houses and setting off fucking gas explosions and killing innocent people to kill the people off. And then they kill the dad off and then they're trying to hunt the kid down. I don't know. It just really frustrated me. And then there was a lot of good acting in it that was that sucks because you had a really good performance, but I just I didn't get it out of the movie. The wife, Punisher's wife, she did a really good job. Her acting was great. I felt Littlefinger did a pretty good job in his role, trying to be the badass bad guy, but having that soft side, but didn't want to show everyone the soft side kind of. Beast was a moron. He was dipshit. Lara Croft, I mean, come on. You're not that good looking anymore. And I mean, aside from being Mrs. Smith or maybe Maleficent, you really haven't been in a movie where you were a good actress. So but for her, her foot thing, that was cool. I like how they didn't drag that out. They just showed it that one, really quick scene when they're trying to pack up to leave and they bandage it, and she pulls her shoe off and you can see her foot's fucked up and she's just she tries to brush it off and act like it's not a big deal. And then later in the movie it like starts to fire up again and she can't move. Like that shit's cool. Like you didn't draw it out. We didn't have to like, you didn't make it this big deal. That was cool. You got to the point there, but you didn't get to the point on a lot of other shit. And Punisher, is he dead? Is he alive? We don't fucking know. Like, fuck, man. And the only way we're gonna find out is if they make a sequel. And you don't need a fucking sequel. You fucking don't need a sequel. This movie does not deserve a sequel. Do not make a sequel. Please, for the love of God, don't make a sequel. I would rather live knowing that I don't know if Punisher's going to be alive for when they make the live action Punisher movie than to fucking watch him in a sequel of this movie. That's how I feel about it. So, to end my rant, I'm giving this a crisp 4.9. So,
Excellent observation. Now, like I said, I suggested this movie, and I'm going to live with that. This movie, it wasn't it for me. There were obviously some good things. I thought it was incredibly well shot.
Yes, I agree.
I think it was a very, in that perspective, very easy movie to watch, but to like actually digest it and stuff, like not so much, I kind of liked the beginning when it comes to like plot and pacing. The beginning I thought was very, very good. We established, hey, there's these fuckers. Hey, there's these guys trying to leave.
Yep.
And then there's Lara Croft, having a midlife crisis, which was actually.
And I also, to your point, I liked how this was kind of like that. I liked and I didn't like. I liked how they like quickly and over time showed her backstory. Like as she was having the flashbacks, they didn't like hit it right off the bat and then like keep firing on it. It was like over time you learned while you had an idea like, oh shit, the kids died. You had an idea, but then when they like actually show it and you're like, oh fuck, that's why she feels like that. But they still had like that 5 minutes in the movie where she's just doing dumb shit. And it's like, okay, we get it. Like she doesn't like she's having a crisis right now. We get it. You don't need to keep like the whole fucking parachute scene. Like we don't need that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you on the first part.
Yeah. So the opening act was incredibly well paced. Said less but showed more.
Yeah.
Essentially. Now the problem with that is, as we went through the movie, there were certain things that I felt should have been elaborated on, like, Medea's motives, like backstory there, things like that. And you just didn't really get that.
Yeah, I agree.
So, that made it a little bit more difficult for myself to retain attention, I'll be honest, during this movie.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you like watch part of it and then have to go back and finish it?
Yeah. Funny enough, I watched this movie. I got to the last 30 minutes and I ended up having to go back and watch it. So
that's always not, that's not a good sign. Like that's like when people were like, you need to watch the Snyder cut of Justice League and like you can watch it in multiple sittings. It's like, no, that like if I have to watch it in multiple sittings, it's not a good movie. Like I should be captivated and I should want to watch the entire thing. Like, no, I'm sorry. Like that right there is like, all right, not a good vote for me.
Yeah.
So sorry you had to do that. I'm sorry you had to watch it more than me.
Yeah. But all in all, it was an all right movie. I don't think there should be a sequel of this movie.
Please fucking God, no.
Like, yeah, that's something I'm pretty hard against. So with that being said, based off the baseline I set last episode, I have given Those Who Wish Me Dead a 4.5 out of 10.
There you go.
I flip-flopped between 4 and 4.5 for a good 20 minutes. And ultimately ended up going with the 4.5.
Yeah.
So
I like it. I like the score.
Do you think for our cumulative here, how do we feel? Do we round down on this one?
Yeah.
I think we round down to 4.5 or
yeah, I think we go to 4.5. Like my thing was like I didn't want to compare it to Godzilla and Kong, obviously. But it was like there were parts that I really liked, and there was a lot of parts that I did not like. So I was like it wasn't like god awful, but it wasn't something that like I don't want another. I probably will never watch it again. But like I do agree with you, like the shooting of it was cool. A lot of the scenes were cool, like the fire scenes were dope.
Oh
like
yeah,
like those
they were
cool.
absolutely brutal.
The like the scenery, like when they do like the panoramic over like where she's staying at first was dope, and then at the end when they do it when it's like all burnt, like that shit's fucking crazy. So yeah, a 4.5 I think is reasonably rated.
Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following along at home, that means those who wish me dead certified mediocre out of 4.5 out of 10 from the Mashing Joys crew. So like we said, very easy to watch, great shot, great cast, plot and pacing a little lacking.
Mm-hmm.
So those are your bullet points for this one.
Yep.
Would I recommend to go out and watch this? If it's on and you got a couple hours to kill, fuck it, Yeah. I suppose there are worse things to do with your time, but I probably wouldn't go out of my way to watch it.
Yeah, agreed.
But that's gonna wrap up for those who wish me dead. This is averaging like a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 on IMDb, 59 on Metacritic. So, we ranked it a little bit lower than others did.
We're tough.
Yeah, I also feel like a lot of reviewers don't, like I said, 5 for me is average. For these people, maybe like 5 is
they're also getting
pretty
paid by movie. The directors and producers to not make it look like awful, unless it's like awful. But it is what it is.
So if you guys are looking to look for this movie, is currently available to watch on HBO Max. So if this sounds interesting to you, you know where to go. But that's going to wrap up episode 2, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with us for another movie review. Next episode, we will be having a special guest. Bam.
Yeah.
And what were we doing? Was it
he'll be joining us for Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
Okay. So next week or next episode, whenever these are releasing, look out for us with a special guest. We will be reviewing Mortal Kombat, the new one, not the old one. That's amazing, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Folks, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next episode. I have been Cody.
I'm still Jason.
And this has been episode 2 of MJMR. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. As always, be safe, get vaccinated, eat your vegetables, and have a great rest of your day. See ya!